So my name is Esmeralda. I grew up in a Mexican household. We are Mexican, but we do belong to an indigenous tribe in Mexico. So a lot of that culture was sprinkled all throughout my childhood. Growing up, I have been first generation, and none of my siblings had the opportunity to go to college, so I am the first in my family. Growing up, the only real careers that I knew about was in the medical field, so it's you're a nurse, you're a doctor, or somewhere working in there. I always loved science, but I was not that interested into the medical field itself, but that's all I knew. So that's what I started pursuing immediately after high school. I actually started here at UCR for one semester. During that time, there was a lot of family issues going on, and so I transferred over to community college where I was pursuing nursing. Very quickly realized that wasn't for me. So after I was done at community college, I went over to Cal State San Bernardino, where I still wasn't sure what I wanted to do. I knew I wanted it to be medical related, but not necessarily physician or nurse practitioner. At Cal State San Bernardino, I met Dr. Ruiz, and she opened out a new route for me career-wise on something that I had not personally considered was a possibility. So in her lab, I worked with Drosophila, and we were investigating A beta 42 plaque accumulation in relation to Alzheimer's disease. And she basically gave us more free reign to choose the route we wanted to take within that project. And that was the first time that I had more hands-on laboratory-based work. So I ended up applying for the CIRM program, where you are matched to a laboratory of your choice at different institutions. The one that I was most interested in was at UC Riverside, which is a bioengineering laboratory. Now, coming from a bio major, going to a bioengineering laboratory was extremely difficult. It was a huge transition. I didn't really understand what I was getting myself into, but I'm forever eternally grateful that I gave myself the opportunity to come out of my comfort zone from a biology major into a bioengineering laboratory. My summer experience was great. I was matched, or I chose Dr. Ruiz's lab at UC Riverside in the bioengineering department. CIRM gave me all the opportunity to join in a bioengineering laboratory where I had no previous experience other than my biology background. And CIRM gave me the opportunity to build new skills, build on learning new tools, new equipment, new techniques. CIRM allowed me to find a career path that I realized was for me. Very quickly on, during my year-long internship through the CIRM Bridges program, I realized that bioengineering was the field that I wanted to stay into. I fell in love with engineering, and I was already in love with biology, so it was a good combination. Before my year-long internship ended, I did speak to Dr. Ruiz, and I expressed my interest in joining the PhD program. She was all on board because of the experience that CIRM gave me through her laboratory to then continue for PhD. I never envisioned myself being in this position, being a scientist and being an engineer. It never crossed my thought process. I had heard of scientists, but I had heard of it through TVs and movies. I had never actually known what they do. I didn't even know it was a possibility to enter this field. And now that I'm here, I'm eternally grateful because it isn't a one-way road. There's thousands of roads that I can take within this field that will all lead me towards a successful life and will all lead me toward helping others.